Hello, the internet, and welcome back to Book Reviews. Yeah, we still haven't changed the name. My name is Victor. Well, no, it's not, but it's close enough for government work. And today we will be talking about Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card.
Human beings are free except when humanity needs them.
Did you hear that? Anyway, this is a good book. It's a classic science fiction novel that delves deep into some complex themes. They're so complex that I had to read the book twice. What's great about this book is that even though it was written in 1985, it does not feel dated at all. Unlike your 40-year-old uncle who started wearing his baseball cap backwards and started calling everybody my dude.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Orson Scott Card, or Oscard for friends, did an amazing job at predicting future technologies. He predicted the nets, which is basically how we use the internet today, for learning, communication, games, and trolling. The man predicted internet trolling. He foresaw tablets, immersive video games, virtual reality, and unmanned military drones. Listen, are we sure that this guy isn't from the future or something else? Oh, wait. He also predicted that Russia will be a superpower and that will rule over Europe.
You serious?
So, never mind. Now, I don't know what technologies inspired him back in 1985, and that's for two reasons. One is because I was not alive back then. I wasn't even a horny glint in my father's eyes. And second, well, I didn't look it up. I mean, I could have, but I decided to go the other way. Speak confidently about it, post it online, then sit back and wait for someone to correct me.
Well, actually,
Because if it's one thing you can rely on is that somebody will always correct you on the internet. And why would I want to deprive someone of that pleasure? Anyway, back to the book. Oscar received both the Nebula and the Hugo Awards for his work, which I'm being told is quite a big deal. I bet that opened quite a few cargo bay doors for him, if you know what I mean. That was terrible. Let's get the plot out of the way. The story revolves around Andrew Ender Wiggin, a young boy recruited into a military academy in space. And when I say young, I mean six. He was six when they recruited him for battle school. At six, I barely knew I even had a PP, let alone what it's for. The goal is to prepare him, together with other genius kids, for an impending war against a hostile alien species known as the Buggers. Listen, I live in London, and around here, bugger means, well, it means something else entirely. And there is not just any recruit. He is a genius, and the military believes he might be humanity's best hope for survival against the Buggers. In Battle School, which is this kick-ass space station located in Earth's orbit, Anders starts going to training, where he excels, of course. I mean, did I mention he's a genius? He's constantly tested, constantly pushed to his limits, and always under pressure. No, now is not the time. The book brilliantly explores his journey and his struggles as he tries to deal with both his internal and external challenges. And that's about it for the plot. Listen, just read the book. Besides, I don't want to spoil anything for you, especially that ending where they find out that. Ooh, I nearly spoiled it. I will say this much. The ending has a bit of a twist to it, which I will admit I did not see coming. Now, by the ending, I mean the result of the war, because there's another ending which, if we were to be pedantic, is the actual ending. The previous one being just the resolution of the conflict. So, the ending, which could be thought of as a beginning as well, since it's kind of an open ending because it launches the other books and. Oh, sorry, am I confusing you? Yeah, well, welcome to my mind. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the ending. The ending is the ending is bittersweet. Let's just move on. Here are some things that I really, really like about this book. First of all, you have an awesome space war. And yes, war is bad. But spaceships going pew pew are really cool. So, then there is the whole child prodigy's journey. I don't know why, but I'm a sucker for that. The struggle they face, the learning, the clever ways they find to face adversity. I love all that. Just like Percy Jackson, or like Voth, or like Harry Potter. Oh my god, this book is Harry Potter in space with lasers. But most of all, I like the moral complexity of this book. The author takes us through some heavy themes that add some depth to what might seem at first glance maybe just another space opera. I also like the ambiguity around who the actual villain of the story is. Is it the buggers? Is it the military complex? Is it humanity itself? We don't quite know, and each reader has to decide that for themselves.
Oh, you gonna make me work for it?
And then there is that whole teeny tiny thing of breeding children to be raised as soldiers. I mean, should you? Is it right to take away their childhood in the service of the many? Okay, I hear you. But what if the survival of your entire race depends on it? Is it okay then? Then we have the whole morality of war. As the book progresses, we find out that the reasons for going to war are not as simple as initially thought. There is an exchange between Ender and Colonel Graf, who is an officer in the International Fleet, and a man who looks suspiciously similar to a very old Ryan Gosling. Yeah, that guy.
So the whole war is because we can't talk to each other.
If the other fellow can't tell you his story, you can never be sure he isn't trying to kill you.
And doesn't that just perfectly define us as a species? We got where we are, top of the food chain, baby! Because we learned how to kill everything that tried to kill us. And even a bunch of things that didn't want to kill us, but they were looking at us in a funny way. Now, in doing so, we developed a killer mentality, but also a lot of paranoia. The quote goes on.
Nature can't evolve a species that hasn't a will to survive. The race as a whole can never decide to cease to exist. So if we can, we'll kill every last one of the buggers, and if they can, they'll kill every last one of us.
Do you know what I'm really afraid of? That this is how it will be once we get out there.
I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong.
If and when we meet another intelligent life form, I'm afraid we are more likely to start a war than to make friends. And why? Because they're different.
But that's against the rules, and you can't sit with us.
If we cannot communicate with them, we will fear them. Because we are frail, paranoid little species. Yes, we're top of the food chain, baby. But it is a precarious perch that we are on. And we haven't been in this position for a very long time. We don't have the mentality to be at the top. And the proof? We kill for fun. We kill each other out of fear. We kill because we're jealous. I mean, look in nature. That doesn't happen. Look at other alpha predators. The lion, the shark, wolves, they have been on top for millions of years. Comfortable, secure in their position. You will never see a shark with anxiety, or a lion going bald from stress, or wolves with stress ulcers. No, that's just us. We can't even communicate to the creatures on our own planet. I mean, hell, we can barely communicate with each other. And do you think we're gonna be better once we get up there? Bitch, please. Look at that last line in the quote. And if they can't, they will kill every last one of us. But we don't know that for sure, do we? We assume because that's what we would do. On the other hand, another question is to be raised. In the book, they attacked us first. And even though they never came back for a second attack, can we afford to risk it? Do we dare stake the future of the whole human race on a maybe? Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe they're actually friendly. And my answer is, I don't know. This is an ethical dilemma. There is no good answer to it. And the only purpose of an ethical dilemma is to make college professors look smug when they ask it. And if you say you have an answer, I say bullshit you do. The problem is we have become very polarized in our thinking. Things have to be either this or that. We are losing our ability to think nuanced. We find a side we agree with, and that side becomes the good side, and everything else is the bad side. And I get why we do this, because it's easy and thinking is hard. It can give you headaches. But life is not that simple. Life is not black or white. It's actually many, many shades of gray. No, no, no. Go away. Well, I went on a bit of a rant. I don't even know who I was arguing with. But since I'm on a roll, let's talk about some of the things I did not like about this book. The first one is Ender's name. Seriously? Ender Wiggin? You have a kick-ass name like Ender, and you put Wiggin next to it? That's as disappointing as getting socks for Christmas. And I know, I can hear you muttering there in the back, the antithesis of the two names reveal the duality of the character, who is constantly torn between yeah. To that, I have only one thing to say.
Nerd!
Listen, I get it. My point is, there must be a better option than friggin' Wiggin. And speaking of names, Mazer Rackham. It sounds so contrived. This name is trying so hard to be a badass, just like a teenager who's wearing sunglasses inside the club and is calling himself Blade. There is this game called Elite Dangerous, and it's a really cool game. My friend let me watch him play one day, and he seemed to be having a lot of fun. But that name, I mean, it sounds like the whole marketing team just got together over Red Bulls and Cheetos, put all the cool, hip, fresh names they could think about in a box or something, and then just drew out two, and they were like, yeah, let's go with it. It's the same thing with Mazer Badass over here. Oh, Orson, you big dork. Let's see. Is there anything else I can bitch about? Oh, yeah. Anders' isolation, one of the most repetitive and heavy-handed themes in the entire book. While it effectively highlights the immense pressure and loneliness that Anders experiences, sure, it can become a bit tedious. I mean, we get it. He's alone, burdened with the weight of saving humanity, isolated by his peers by design. But do we really need to be reminded of this every single chapter? The book could have just as easily been called Anders' Game of Solitaire. Thank you. One thing I never got tired of in this book, however, was him constantly winning. Up the stakes, he's got it. Stack the odds, not a problem. To some, it might feel monotonous, predictable, but not to me. I love that shit. And you wanna know why? Because he is a genius. He was kicking ass at 6 years of age, both literally and the other way. And he never gave in. Not to the bullies, not to the military, not to the bad thoughts. He never let the man get him down. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you for sticking around. And please don't forget to show some love. And if you want to argue about something, use the comment section. Okay, bye.